Hey, good morning, Falcons. Happy Monday. Welcome back for last 2 weeks of the 2019-2020 school year. We are going to do two important things today in advisory. We're going to read the student bulletin like we always do on Mondays. And then also we're going to be talking about race and racism. And really today we're going to be focusing on how comfortable are we talking about those topics. So stick with us. If we were in school and all of this important stuff was going on in our world, we would be taking time to talk about this and process it together. So it's our responsibility to do that now, even though we can't be together in person. All right, here we go. Our greeting today is a new greeting called a checking in greeting. So typically when we care about someone, we take time to check in on them. And we just want to remind you to do that and support you with some things you might say to check in on people. Okay, so your greeting might sound like this. You could text someone, call them, write a message, talk to someone you're actually with, and you'd say something like this. Hey, Mr. Parker, I haven't seen you since last week, just checking in to see how you're doing. How are you? Can I do anything to help you today? How's your family? So those are all good questions you might ask just to extend yourself. Ask a question of someone you care about and then take the time to listen to what they have to say. We'll also do that for you today. So Falcons, just checking in. How are you? How's your family? Can we do anything to support you today? Comment below, head over to your advisory Google Classroom, reach out, we're here for you. Okay, pause the video, take the time to do your check-in greeting, and then come on back when you're ready. Okay, our activity or our sharing today, sharing. 3 important questions. Number 1, how was your weekend? Okay, tell us if anything good happened for you, something not so good, but make sure you take time to share and connect. Okay, so number 1, how was your weekend? Number 2, what are you looking forward to this week? We would love to hear about what you're looking forward to. Comment below, talk to someone you're with, go over to your advisory Google Classroom. And number 3, important question, and we'll have an activity link to this in a minute. How comfortable are you talking about the idea of race and racism? And why do you think that is? Okay, so that's something to think about. We want you to talk about that with your family, with someone you're with, and then we'll do an activity with that in a minute. Okay, so questions again. 1, how was your weekend? 2, what are you looking forward to this week? And number 3, how comfortable are you talking about race and racism? Why do you think that is? Okay, time for our activity, but make sure you actually pause the video and go take the time to share. Okay, so our first activity today, we are asking you to trust us and to take a totally anonymous survey. There is no way I'm going to know who you are if you take this. I'm not collecting your email addresses. I don't have the computer skills to hunt you down and figure out what your IP address is. I don't even really know what an IP address means. But in all seriousness, we're asking you, if you're comfortable, to take a totally anonymous survey that just gives us some information, students, parents, family members, and staff. How comfortable are you talking about race and racism? And if you want to explain why you think that is, then you'll have the opportunity to do that. Our team will look at your answers and it's going to help us figure out how we can better engage in these conversations about concepts that are hugely important in our world. And we know it's going to be hard. And we know it's probably going to be uncomfortable for most members of our community, but we still think it's the right thing to do and an important thing to do. So please, 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 the link is below. Take a few minutes to take the survey. We would really appreciate it. Okay, after you take the survey, which will take you like 30 seconds, we're going to go through the bulletin. So stick with me if you like reading the bulletin together. Otherwise, it's in your email for me, school email for me. So let's take a look at some important announcements for this week. If you're taking off now, remember, be respectful, be responsible, show pride. We miss you tons. Here we go with the bulletin. All right, my friends, it is the week of June 8th to June 12th. Whew! You are already doing a great job participating in advisory, so stick with it. Remember, this week, we're going to be really encouraging you to connect with us about justice, racism, protests, and then how do we support each other through these hard times. So keep coming back to advisory. Also, reminder, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., we've got grab and go meals, Chromebook checkout, or like help if your Chromebook's not working. There's some other supplies available, shampoo, soap, some school supplies if you need them. So just come by, see us. We will be safe and socially distant, but it's super important that you come and get what you need, and we're there for you. Also, reminder that if you need something delivered, we can totally get it delivered out to your home. Just let us know. And the food pantry is open to all Mount Vernon families Thursdays, 1 to 5:30 p.m. Please come take advantage of that if your family needs more assistance with food at this time. Okay, also super important to remember, school is still going on. You've got 2 more weeks, about 2 hours a day. You've got this. We believe in you, so stick with it. Okay, other exciting new important announcements in the bulletin. 8th graders, your moving up video is having a live YouTube premiere Friday, June 19th at 9 a.m. Yes, you might have to get up a little bit earlier than you typically do. But if that time doesn't work for you and your family, it'll be available for you to watch later. The point of the live premiere is so that you can see people's comments and feel a little bit more connected since we can't be together. So congratulations, class of 2024. We can't wait to share this video with you. You'll have speeches, your personal pictures, awards for members of your class, and more. So make sure you tune in. We can't wait. Okay, other important announcements. Many of you have been asking about returning items to school. So here are a few things to note. If you've got library books, textbooks, other stuff like a choir shirt, you can return to LaVenture Middle School June 17th through the 19th. So that's not until next week. Or you can wait until the main office reopens in August. And that's really important because we're in phase 2 and we really don't want you to feel like you have to make a trip that's not essential. Like it can wait until things are a little bit safer. If you've got a musical instrument that's school owned, you can bring it in during those days as well. We'll take care of the instruments and clean them over the summer, and Mr. Pitzer will reach out to you with more information. Same thing goes for Chromebooks and hotspots. So you can return those actually to any school during the grab and go meal service time, so 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. On those dates. So that's the 17th through the 19th. So again, your Chromebook or your hotspot, if you're borrowing one from the district, does not have to come back to LaVenture. It can go to any of the Mount Vernon schools that are open for food service. Okay, if you do need it, your Chromebook past June 19th, it's actually okay for you to keep it over the summer. If you're planning to participate in continuing to catch up with your learning, doing Khan Academy, doing Uzella, if you're signed up for a summer online program, that's totally fine. We will get it back from you later in the summer before school starts. Okay, and that's the same for your hotspot. So don't panic. You're not going to get a fine if you don't bring it back in June. Super important, if your Chromebook is not working properly, please make sure that you get that device turned back in so that we can get it fixed by the time school starts. If you have questions about returning any of your stuff, call the school. You can email me. We will help you. Whew, that's a long announcement about your stuff. I know. Okay, let's take a look. Also, summertime meal sites will be available in Mount Vernon. So 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. still in the summer at LaVenture and Mount Baker. So there will be about 10 days where the food service will be stopped temporarily and then it will start back up at LaVenture. If your family is worried about that, if you need help getting access to food, just let us know. We will figure out a way to help make sure that you have access to what you need during that gap. Otherwise, come see us starting June 29th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. We will have our summer meal site going. Next up is yearbooks. Many of you have been asking about yearbooks. Thank you to Mr. Strom and the yearbook team for putting together a beautiful yearbook. It's been pretty fun to look at the online version that I can see. So reminder, 8th graders, yearbooks are available to all of you if you want one. If you're able to pay for one, please do. They're $10. And if you're not, that is okay. So 8th graders only, right here on this link. Okay, if you click that link, we need to know this week if you want a yearbook. So click on that, please fill that out, and it will ask you, do you think you'll be able to pay for this, or would a free one be better? That information is private and confidential. It will just help us do a good job with our budget. If you are a current 6th or 7th grader and you want a yearbook, no worries. We will be in touch with you when the yearbooks arrive in August, and they will be available for purchase for $10. The rest of the information in the bulletin is repeated from previous weeks, so I just want to call your attention to it briefly. This is a link to our family support request. If your family needs help with anything, as always, they can call the school or fill out this form, and we will follow up with you as soon as possible. Students, if you're wanting to connect with a school counselor, click on either of these links, the one in English, o en Espanol, and Ms. Qual or Ms. Rodriguez will follow up with you. They're there for you. They love connecting with you, so make sure you take advantage of that. Students, you can also check your school email for the code for your Google Classroom. The baby picture stuff was really fun. Last week, you guys talked about like in the 6th and 7th grade classroom, like where you'd want to travel. So keep it up. It's totally optional, but just a fun way to connect with teachers and your classmates. Here again are our distance learning resources. So if you still need practice with your email, setting up your schedule for the week, Monday is a great day to do that. Make sure you take the time to do it. Talent Week is now Talent Weeks. So if you want to sing, dance, perform, send us a TikTok, anything, art, poetry, staff. I know you got those talents, students, family members, send them my way, and then we'll post them here. Okay, below we have our grading policy for this semester. Make sure you check that out with your family. And then down on the last page and a half really is all about, or last end of the second and third page, all of these great family and community resources. So make sure that you take time to check these out if that's something your family needs access to, including this new information here from the Skagit County Deputy Administrator, so it's a public health official, is really wanting to remind you about what it means that we're now in phase 2. Okay, so this information came to us from an outside source, but we really wanted to share it with you. So remember, in phase 2, to be safe, you still shouldn't be having large gatherings such as birthday parties, graduation parties, things like that. That's why we're not having move up in person. We would if we thought it was safe. You also really should be only gathering with a couple people outside of your house every week. When you do that, make sure you wear a mask, stay 6 feet apart, wash your hands. Okay, so like really it's super important that you still practice these things. It's so important to us that you're safe, that your family's safe. Okay, make sure really we're still not supposed to be traveling outside of our community to visit friends or relatives, which I know is really hard. It's hard for me. I'm sure it's hard for you. And then to the best of your ability, it's recommended that you wear a mask every time you leave the house. So this is recommendations for you. Reach out to us if you have questions. Check out the Skagit County Health Department website. And just know, Falcons, we're here for you. These are hard times, but you are a tough, amazing group of students and families. So remember, be respectful, be responsible, show pride. We'll see you back here for online advisory tomorrow. Don't forget to take that survey, and we'll see you soon.